This is News 25 with Deanna O'Donnell and Stacy Jensen. News 25, local news you can count on. News is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Give them a call, 727-9900. News is also brought to you by Desert View Hospital. You can count on us.
Happy Monday. So glad you could join us here on KPVM TV and Ace Country Radio. I'm Deanna O'Donnell.
And I'm Stacy Jensen. It's Monday, April 25th.
Well, a public hearing was held at the Board of County Commissioners meeting this month to decide if a residence located on China Street be deemed a nuisance.
Neighbors got together to try to remediate the problem in their neighborhood located in Calvada Estates. The complainants are calling the property a feedlot and gave submitted evidence to the board. They say property owner Alvano Cano is selling and slaughtering animals. Neighbors report that in May to June 2021, the owner brought 20 mature feeder cattle, longhorn steer, goats, sheep, and horses onto the property. They believe this residential property is running a commercial feedlot because they believe he fattens up the animals for slaughter and sale. The complaint says that the property owner is also allowing manure to build up and burning it. Neighbors say that they cannot enjoy their properties any longer because of odor, flies, mice, rats, and ravens. They also claim that a refrigerated truck was parked across from the location for a short time and have noticed a chain hoist being used to slaughter the animals. They said that visitors have come to the property and that they witnessed payments being made to the owner for what they say are meat sales. Discovered was an ad on Craigslist selling sheep, goats, boars, milking cows, milking goats, bulls, pigs, chickens, and quail. The backup to the agenda item has photos of the conditions and animal bones on the ground. Neighbors say animal control was called and they found no animal abuse happening on the property. The land zoning allows for farm animals, but not for a commercial feedlot or sales. The 16 neighbors that signed the complaint are also concerned about their water wells and asked the BOCC to require the owner to test his water and theirs if it turns out that the water is now tainted.
We also want to talk about the health concerns because that's huge right now. Health and welfare of our neighborhood. The biggest thing is well water. Our feedlots that are licensed and permitted are monitored by the EPA under the Clean Water Act because they are known to contaminate wells. Every one of us has a well in our neighborhood, in our residential neighborhood. So we're very concerned about our wells. And his well is right behind all of this feedlot situation.
It's just not a healthy situation. I know if I don't live super close, but I walk that neighborhood and it does stink. So the main thing that I'm concerned with is the health issue in the water table. There are no mitigation things that I can see to keep runoff from going onto somebody else's property and contaminating the neighbor's wells.
I live in the area, but my main concern is seepage into the aquifer. If it gets into the aquifer, then not only the people in the surrounding area, but the entire town is in problem. So that's my main concern, and I just want to make that point.
The county commissioners asked Mr. Cano about his ad on Craigslist through his interpreter. He said his son posted the ad to sell the animals after the complaint was filed. Cano then asked if he can butcher his cows. The Nye County Planning Director Brent Wagner answered, stating he can butcher a cow to feed his own family, but not for commercial sale or use. Wagner also said that the well on the property is not for commercial use. Mr. Cano says that when he bought the property, he asked if he could have animals on it, and it was allowed.
He didn't mean to make all these people angry. You know, we were told something and it wasn't explained to detail. We are a big family, a very big family. I'm married with 2 kids, you know, and I have 5 other siblings too. You know, it's kind of hard to hear all that stuff when they're just saying stuff about my father and, you know, when there's lies and all that. And, you know, and it's just very hard to hear that as a daughter. And, you know, stuff can be fixed. We don't have to go extreme about it. Stuff can be fixed if there's communication.
Mr. Cano is completely willing to do whatever he needs to do to make any smell that's being portrayed go away, any flies that's being portrayed go away, and any other course of action that he needs to do and able to make everybody at ease and so that they're not upset over the issues that are being brought.
In the end, the Board of County Commissioners decided to deem the property a nuisance and ordered abatement by the property owner within 90 days.
And a longtime local man was struck near his home Saturday morning on West Street.
The Nye County Sheriff's Office and Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue Services responded to a vehicle versus pedestrian crash that occurred on Saturday morning in front of New Hope Fellowship Church on West Street. The victim of the crash, Jason Harper, says he was walking to the store when a vehicle that was located in the parking lot backed up into him while he was walking next to the roadway. One of the churchgoers, Jamie Love, provided KPVM this video, which shows Harper on the ground after being struck by the vehicle. Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue transported the man to Desert View Hospital with injuries as a result of that crash. Harper says that he has back, neck, and head pain, suffered abrasions to his legs, and his feet are swollen. He was released from the hospital later that day. Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies are investigating the crash.
And Harper says that the crash cost him his job and money fell out of his pocket, and someone took it while he was being attended to by medics. Jason had to overcome hurdles in his life, suffering from a brain tumor and vision issues. The crash set him back and has affected his work. If you would like to help him, you can contact Jason Harper on Facebook or call KPVM at 775-727-9400, extension 201. We're going to be back with more local news right after this break.
You're watching News 25, the most recognized and farthest reaching local news in Nye County. News 25, local news you can count on. This segment of News 25 is brought to you by Lisa Spahitz and Mike Plasmeyer at Country Financial Insurance. Auto, home, life, and commercial. 775-727-8920.
Welcome back to News 25. Well, an Indiana couple's vacation out west changed their lives forever. Their family says it didn't have to end tragically if they would have received help from law enforcement sooner. In our first part of 3, we caught up with Travis Peters, whose Aunt Beverly and Uncle Ronnie became lost in the Nevada desert after their GPS took them in the wrong direction.
The family says a silver alert might have saved 72-year-old Ronnie Barker, who died after being out in the elements for 7 days while the family frantically attempted to get assistance in finding Ronnie and his wife, 69-year-old Beverly Barker. The state of Nevada says they will only do a silver alert if the missing persons are from Nevada. Travis thinks that needs to be changed since the state is a popular destination for senior tourists. The Barker's nephew, Travis, works for NBC's Indianapolis affiliate WTHR 13 and spoke to News 25 about the tragic and miraculous rescue.
We assumed that, okay, they're searching for them. And I'm not saying that, police reports weren't filed and everything like that. I'm sure, be on the lookout of these license plates, if you run across them. And I'm sure that, the deputies on patrol were given a description of the RV, and if you run across this, just be looking for a RV on the side of the road, or but it wasn't a search.
The Indiana couple were traveling from seeing their grandchildren in Albany, Oregon, en route to see friends in Tucson, Arizona, but they never arrived at their destination. The Nevada State Police pinged their cell phones, which showed the couple's route, and then it abruptly stopped in the area of Dyer and Silver Peak, Nevada. Following 5 days of constant phone calls from 2,000 miles away while believing that there were people searching for them, they discovered that in fact no one was looking for the pair. Travis says he got angry. He and his cousins knew that the two were in peril.
They'd been missing for 5 days in the Nevada desert.
He then made a Facebook post which got a lot of attention.
A Facebook post that I started Saturday at like 4 in the morning. By like 4 in the afternoon, it had been shared 15,000 times. Just my hats off to the people of Nevada. People were just reaching out and just, where do you think they're at? Where was those last cell phone pings? Okay. We're going to get in the truck and we're going. By Saturday, we were in contact with the Nye County Search and Rescue Team, a Deputy Cobb, and he was extremely nice, very, very compassionate, very aware of our situation being serious. And he, we went over a lot of details, and he said, hey, we got teams out. And, you know, I was like, we've got lots of people reaching out to us trying to help. What do we do? Who do we send them to? And he said, well, you know, Esmeralda County is the one that's actually technically in charge. We're just coming over to assist. We had the Civil Air Patrol. We contacted the CAP in Nevada and said, hey, you know, can you help us? We knew what the CAP does because of their background in the CAP. And they said, we absolutely. But somebody official has to ask for us. You know, the sheriff has to put out the call. The same thing with the Nye County Search and Rescue that's located in Pahrump. They were texting me, messaging me on Facebook and said, you know, hey, you know, we're a member of this team, you know, and we're ready to go, but we can't until the sheriff asks for us up there that's in charge. And that was so frustrating, knowing that people were willing to come up there and he wouldn't ask. So I just picked up the phone and I called the Esmeralda County Sheriff's Office and I asked for the sheriff, told the young lady who I was, very pleasant sounding, chipper receptionist. And I could hear him in the background and he kind of huffed and he goes, yeah, I guess I'll talk to him. You know, just kind of like I was bothering his lunch or something. You know, it was the most, you just really feel put off. And, you know, you're just trying to find two people that are dying. And I asked him, I said, you know, I was polite. You know, I said, you know, I'd like to know just what's going on. You know, what do we got up and how many people are out there? And he's like, well, we had a helicopter up on Saturday and we didn't find them. Okay. You know, and I understand they couldn't fly yesterday. Nope, we couldn't get them out there. Okay, what about today? Well, you know, I don't know. You know, just, you know, we're you know. And I said, well, I know that there are groups that are willing to come up and help that, you know, you haven't reached out to. And he was so dismissive of that. He was like, and you can quote me. He was like, if they came up, I wouldn't know where to send them because we've already looked everywhere.
And we'll have more on that story this week. It seems like new word games have grown in popularity over the years. They're a fun and easy way to stay entertained. But did you know that they can also help with your brain, making your brain healthy?
My idea about those types of word games is if you enjoy them and they're giving you a challenge, so you can't do it on autopilot, you really need to think about it, then it's really serving you a good purpose in terms of supporting your brain health for life.
Dr. Jessica Caldwell is a neuropsychologist for Cleveland Clinic. She says there is no minimum or maximum time you should be playing those kinds of word games. What matters more is playing them on a regular basis. So what if you're not really into word games? Dr. Caldwell says there are plenty of other options out there that can give you the same kinds of health benefits. For example, you could do a tough crossword puzzle or play another kind of puzzle. You could even watch a documentary or read a book and then have an in-depth conversation about it with a friend. She says anything that gives you a learning experience or cognitive challenge is what's most important.
In order to keep your memory and your thinking sharp, the key is really challenge and learning. Those are the only ways that you're really actually exercising your brain. You're growing new neural pathways. You're supporting the old neural pathways. So the key is that you can't just be busy.
Dr. Caldwell says if you feel like you're not great at those word games, don't be too hard on yourself. It could be worth trying something else that is more enjoyable for you.
All right. Well, that is a good tip for that.
Yeah, it keeps your brain healthy. That's what we need. We're going to come back with more local news, News 25, right after this.
You're watching News 25, brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500. News 25, local news you can count on.
Well, a small family-run school is offering students in Savannah an opportunity they might not have ever had if not for the foresight of its founder, understanding some students would never thrive in a traditional large school environment. She opened a school of her own, and today's current students, it's been a game changer. Kim Martinez reports.
I didn't too much like school because you barely could learn, and The classes are bigger and noisier, and
Heaven Taylor has come a long way since those days at her old school. Now a student at Savannah Legacy Academy in Georgia, she's thriving.
A lot of our students, they are special needs students.
Dean of Academics Denise Brown explains this small but mighty school has taken on educating students who need more attention than what's offered in traditional schools and less of a distracting environment.
Some students are on the lower end, so they need additional time to complete assignments, or they need to be in a smaller, quiet environment to complete assignments, while other students are much more advanced when it comes to their special needs program. So they may not necessarily need additional time, but maybe there's a particular subject that they're not that familiar with that we can give them additional help to.
they help me with one-on-one and reading, because when I came here, I didn't really know how to read.
John Montesino, a math teacher at Legacy, says in addition to one-on-one help, it's the class sizes that make all the difference.
The number one thing is the size. This is a very intimate setting. I think my biggest class is 9 students. So in the public schools where you've got 30 kids, a lot of them fall through the cracks. It's hard to fall through the cracks when you're one of 8 or 9 or 10 students.
Legacy is a family-run and operated school which has evolved over the years. The inspiration for the school came from Margaret Brown, a traditional school teacher who thought there had to be more to offer her students.
I was noticing that a lot of students was coming in and they were struggling. And, I said to my husband, Dr. Brown, that, why don't I just start in a small school? And he said, well, okay, let's try it. Once you try it, and I did.
To this day, the school is held tight to the Browns' belief that all children deserve the opportunity to learn. For parents and students alike, it's been incredible.
As a parent, I felt like Savannah Legacy, it just hits all my core values, so it was a go figure.
I feel welcome in the school. It's comfortable in the school.
Kim Martinez reporting.
And it's time to head on out to Desert Haven Animal Society, where Darby's going to introduce us to a cute little puppy named Greg.
Today's Save a Pet segment is made possible by Realty Executives in Action. Put the team at Realty Executives in action for you.
Hi, I'm Darby here at Desert Haven Animal Society, and today we are joined with this very floppy, cute little puppy named Greg. Greg is adorable. I'd probably say he's less than a year old, maybe around like 7 months. He's still in his floppy puppy stage where he's getting his height. He hasn't thickened out quite yet. Super beautiful dog, beautiful brown coloring all over with the cute little white marks on his nose and on his paws and cute little freckle marks on him. He is full of energy. He is looking to go to a home that will give him a lot of attention and definitely start his training process. He is a puppy who gets very excited and pees a little bit because he's just so excited to see you because you're just his bestest friend. If you want to come and see Greg or any of his friends here at Desert Haven Animal Society, you can give them a call at 775-751-7020. You can look them up on their Facebook page at Desert Haven Animal Society. Greg wants to remind everyone that they're now open 7 days a week for adoption. Actually, next week from April 25th until May 1st, they are having a clear out sale. So people are actually sponsoring dogs. There's currently 17 sponsors for animals to get adopted. That means that all of the adoption fees are already paid for. So definitely come down between April 25th and May 1st, and you can actually go and get a dog for completely free because it's already sponsored and paid for. 775-751-7020, or you can look them up on their Facebook page again at Desert Haven Animal Society. Bye, Greg. Bye. Bye. Thank you. Thank you.
News 25 WeatherCam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
Well, you know what? It's not windy today. That's all I got to say about that.
It is not, but temperatures are going to be climbing. Yes, we're going to have heat back in the forecast. We're going to get caught up with weather and John in a moment.
News 25 weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada. The splash of cream in your coffee, the dollop of sour cream on your burrito, the melted toasty cheese on your pizza. Undeniably delicious, undeniably dairy. Enjoy what's real.
Hi, good evening, Nevada. Nice to see you on this side of the weekend. It's John Kohler from KPVM Channel 25 Weather Studios, and what a weather map we have for you this week. Oh, it's going to be a fun week, actually. It's going to get warm. It's going to be lovely. I look at this Fernley, Fallon, Carson City are all in the mid-70s. Carson City, 68 degrees. Here, a cool spot in the state today, 70 degrees out in Tonopah. Goldfield saw 76 as it gets warmer as we march south, 78 in Beatty, 82 in both Amargosa and Las Vegas. But Las Vegas, you win the tiebreaker with your winning low temperature tonight of 59 degrees. Beautiful night. Out in Death Valley, it's 93 degrees. And here in the Paradise of Pahrump, let's take a look. Current temperature is 80 degrees. Wonderful. 81 just a little bit earlier. 80 wonderful degrees just a little earlier. Sun rose this morning in all its glory, hope, and promise at 5:57 a.m. Gorgeous sunrise setting this evening. About 7:26. Look for it. It's going to be pretty. East-southeasterly winds to 8 miles per hour all night long. 58 degrees is where we're heading. That sounds pretty pleasant for a nice evening in Pahrump also. How's that set us up for the rest of the week? Well, let's look. Well, looks like we got some clouds. We got some wind coming. Next 3-4 days, cloudy, windy, and but temperatures up in the upper 80s. Nice. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, we're going to see sunshine return. Winds dying down over the weekend. It's going to be a great weekend. Monday, the winds return with a little vengeance at 17 miles per hour, but still sunshine, 86 degrees. Can't beat that. All right, back to the desk. Here's Deanna.
I'm not liking those high temps, but I'm liking the overnight lows.
The overnights are the best.
We can open our window and let in the cool air.
Right?
All right, there is a resource fair coming up, and this is going to be in Henderson, and it's coming up on April 28th.
Yeah, from 3 to 7 p.m. It's going to be at the Heritage Park Senior Facility in Henderson. It's right off a racetrack road there in Henderson.
And this is going to be a one-stop shop for resources such as counseling, drug and alcohol treatment programs, welfare services, GED programs, health insurance, housing, and job opportunities. Of course, we will be posting that on our KPVM Facebook page for more information. That's going to wrap up this edition of News 25. I'm Deanna O'Donnell.
And I'm Stacy Jensen.
Good night.
Have a good night.